Manager Clint. Clint, good morning.
Good morning, man.
A 3-1 win for you guys last night, the third of four against Milwaukee, Clint. It's back-to-back wins over the Brewers for the first time since 2009 for the club. Was just wondering if there's a mental significance to that for your team, more so than just a W?
I don't try and go that deep. We know what we need to do to win ball games. There's a history there that hasn't been good for us. We're aware of that. That doesn't guide us. That doesn't stay at the front of our mind. We need to go out and play. We need to go out and execute. We need to go out and pitch and run the bases. So that's been our focus. So far, we've played them 6 games. We've each won 3, so that's a step in the right direction.
Clint, I was talking with Neil Walker before the game yesterday about his absence and Russell Martin. You lost him for almost a week, and I don't know if a year ago you survived that as well as you treaded water this time. Do you feel, as a manager, when you look down the bench in the 7th, 8th inning to make moves to get a pinch hitter this year, you have a lot more options than you have the last couple?
I do. I believe we have a deeper club. I believe the lineup's stronger. When you have, on any given day, Russell Martin could be hitting 7th. There's depth to the lineup. There's more experience on the bench. We've got the tools that we need to complement the starting players that we have. It's a good mesh. The rotation's never been deeper. We still got a couple men working to come back, 3 men working to come back in that rotation to see if they can make their fits there. The bullpen also with the addition of Contreras. Hughes is still in AAA and starting to pitch very well there again. So we've got more organizational depth than ever. We've got more options come game time than ever, and it makes it for an easier game for us.
Clint, the bullpen has become obviously an amazing start story for you here through the first almost a quarter pole. We're talking about Melanson. He throws, I guess, is it a slider or the cut fastball that moves away from the righties? Is that been his most effective pitch, and what's really made him so? I mean, 1 run is pretty ridiculous at this point in the season.
Yeah, it is. He has natural cut to his fastball, similar to Mariano Rivera. So when he throws his natural fastball at 92 to 94, there's a little cut to it. He can add to that cutter. It's not a slider. It's just a bigger cutter that's got more depth, runs off the barrel to right-handers, runs in on the label to left-handers. He's also got a very effective 2-seam fastball. So you got the cutter going right to left. You got the 2-seamer actually going probably, northwest to southeast. Then he also has a top-to-bottom 12-6 curveball. He's got 4 pitches in play right now that are all above Major League average. It's been special to watch. His confidence has never been higher. I mean, he's got 14 holds. Really's got 16 saves. That in and of itself speaks to the volume of what they're doing at the end, but there's a bunch of guys in front of them that have been doing very credible jobs as well, whether it be Mazzaro, whether it be Morris as of late, whether it's been Justin Wilson throughout the season, one guy that we're looking forward to getting in a more competitive place is Tony Watson, who's been great for us in the past, and this year he's been the one guy that's had to battle.
Clint, when we talked in the wintertime after your first season here, you had mentioned about your concerns around the All-Star break and how overworked your starting rotation was. Not overworked, but they were all reaching career highs in innings pitched and such. With guys like Jeff Karstens on the mend, Charlie Morton, you got Liriano back now, and the bullpen has pitched a lot of innings, but both starting and relieving, you talk about bench depth, you look a lot deeper pitching too, that if some guys do get a little tired, it looks like you have some stuff in reserve this year that you might not have had 2 years ago.
We definitely do. There's more depth rotation than ever since I've been here, and that was the plan going into the winter. We've got 8 starters in play. McDonald on the mend, Karstens on the mend, Morton on the mend. We've got we also have men that I believe, Liriano getting involved now, missing the first 35 games. This is like his opening season. I think there's more length in front of AJ as far as pitching deeper into games. We talked to him about the strikeouts have been awesome. There's also going to be the ability, like he did the other game, for some quick innings, some 8-pitch innings, some 11-pitch innings with a 2-seam fastball to use a little bit more. That's a really filthy pitch for him as well. Wandy was very effective last night. The goal is to get 7 out of your starters. That hasn't been what we've been able to do so far. But we set up the bullpen differently than any time in the past. We've got 3 guys out there that can pitch multiple innings, and I'm not talking about 1 and a third. I'm talking about at least 2, if not 3, and it's already been done. Morris has thrown 3, Mazzaro's thrown 3, and Justin Wilson have thrown 3. They have really made a big difference in us not overworking anybody out there. So the collective picture, all the plans that were put into place in the winter, they kind of laid out very well so far the first 40 games into the season.
Will you take a look at the workload for Melanson and Grilli repeatedly as we go here through the summer, Clint? For instance, tonight, a game, you may not pitch them, correct?
We may not. I'm definitely, it's a no on Grilli. We'll talk to Melanson. He might, the volume of pitches hasn't been significantly high. He's got age on his side. Jason will be down. Melanson could close. If not, we've got Wilson, Watson, Morris, Mazzaro, and Contreras to back end it if we need it.
Okay.
Clint, a TV station up in Maine, pretty close to Jeff Locke's hometown, had sent us an email and said, if you guys get an opportunity, could you do an interview with Jeff for us and send it up here? You know, he's big news up here. And we did that yesterday afternoon, and I was thinking, it's almost like when your kid goes away to college and comes back for the first term break, how different they are. I'm thinking about talking to him in February down in Florida and talking to him yesterday, and he just has a little bit, not cockiness, but an air of confidence. I think. Do you think he's developing into a major league pitcher mentally?
I do, and I don't know if you ever had any conversations with him when he joined our club in 2011 and made a handful of starts at the back end of the season the last month. I mean, it was overwhelming. There was times I don't think he could spit out on the mound. And the information with the scouting reports, it was just a lot. He has slowly taken it piece by piece, bit by bit, added to his development as far as preparation, focus, his bullpens, his in-game stuff has been very clean. And this guy's going out and giving us innings we need as a fifth starter initially. Now he's moved up to 4, Genmar's 5. Gives us a chance to win more often than not. The big glitch innings that were problematic for him last year, we haven't seen that. An early home run the other night, he settles down, he pitches 6. He was going to go back out for the 7th if we don't have to hit for him, because they had 8th place hitter, 9, and then leadoff hitter is a left-hander. So and he had the pitches still to work with to do that. So he's growing up in front of us all over the place.
We're talking to Pirates manager Clint Hurdle here on Trib Live Radio. Just a few more moments. Clint, the team's been able to come back from some late game deficits this year, but also in series. One of our emailers pointed out, with the win last night, this is the 4th 4-game series where you've lost the first one, come back to win 3 in 3 cases, and we'll see how this one goes. But I know sometimes you don't like to look too deep into things. Is there a team toughness that you're seeing as well?
I felt there was a team toughness going into the winter with what we took on last year at the end of the season. Left a bad taste in our mouth. I felt it all through spring training. I felt it early in the season, the first road trip we got hit in the mouth. And people have a lot of things to say and a lot of comments, and we just said, you know what, we're going to hold fast. We're going to continue to believe in what we believe in. We'll play through this. You're going to have times of the season when you're challenged. I just finally picked up on this, that I've been doing it wrong for years. I thought the most important thing was to win the first game of the series. And as case being, you go out, you play to win, but if you lose, you're really much better off, especially in the case of the 4-game series. So
right.
I was trying to get Tom Singer to figure out the odds. So you lose game 1 and then you win 3. What are the odds of that happening in a 4-game series? And then to do it 2 more times, and now for it to actually be in play on the 4th. We have not had a 4-game winning streak this season. We have had 3 3-game winning streaks. It's all been in these 4-game series where we've beaten the same team 3 times. We haven't beaten multiple teams, 2 different teams, 4 straight games yet. So there's a lot in front of us still to accomplish this year.
Clint, sometimes I know what I'm talking about. Sometimes I'm full of crap. But in the 8th inning last night, I turned to the guy next to me and I said, "That's not going to show up in the box." It's the only play I circled on my scorecard. I said, "That's not going to show up in the box score. That's one of the best plays I've ever seen a catcher make." And I was glad when somebody asked you about that after the game. I'm talking about the strikeout 2-3 Segura in the 8th inning. Russell Martin. That was unbelievable.
I think I couldn't agree with you more. I told the people that were listening last night, it's the best play I've ever seen a catcher make in 39 years of baseball. The athleticism, the fact the block, and it's a wild block. It's a violent block because it's a breaking ball that's down. It goes, 5-6 yards away. He's got to run, recover. Goes to get a throw-off, slips, still has the wherewithal to get the throw-off with enough on it and a perfect strike, a bang-bang Segura at first. He was one of the fastest guys in the league. It's just an incredible play. That's the athleticism that Russell Martin brings to our game in the box, on the bases, with everything he does. So I couldn't agree with you more.
Clint, before we let you go, the bullpen's taken to calling themselves the Shark Tank. Are you addressing them that way as well? And do you talk to any of those guys as a group like that?
No, I call them by name. Much more. I just call Mark, and Jason.
Jaws.
I love the fact that they're creating their own identity. Bob Pompiani asked yesterday if I thought it was appropriate. I mean, really? Appropriate? We're going to check with everybody before we throw a name on somebody if they want to buy into this. I think it's great, and I think Bob probably thought it was fun. He was probably trying to have some fun with it. But too many times in life, we're worried what other people think. Yeah. These guys have bought into it. There'll be days where there will be sharks out there, and days where they might not be. But it's the collective mindset they're going to hold on to throughout the season. Whatever my guys believe in, I'm behind 100%.
Clint, we always appreciate the time. Best of luck this weekend, and we appreciate you coming on.
Thanks, Clint.
Thanks, man. Have a great day.